Hello everybody and welcome to the Bob Stoops app along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops. I'm Brad McMullen and we've got a number of things to talk about, but let's kick off real quickly with the success of the OU spring game, a record crowd, and actually the largest crowd to see a spring football game this year happened at the Palace on the Prairie.
Yeah, our fans really responded. I know Coach Venables kind of challenged them earlier this spring about coming out and showing our players, showing our recruits how much Oklahoma football matters to this fan base, and they sure showed up. 75,000 plus was really exciting, and I thought the game was excellent as well. But really appreciate our fans showing up the way they did.
And what a great new format where it was really a game. You had two teams, you had two coaches, and you had players competing against each other, and it wasn't just ones versus ones, it was a mixture. So the fans really got a taste, a treat, if you will, on seeing how the players would interact.
Yeah, and I thought, just in one spring, Coach Venables and his entire staff, offense, defense, to have the second and third teams ready to play at an even level. Now, I get it. There's going to be a difference between first team and second team come fall. But it shows you the amount of work that they're all on board with, being in sync, that twos can intermingle with the ones and threes with the twos, and they just did a great job of being able to handle the roster and play a real game. And I thought a game that really looked good. It looked solid. Both sides, both offense and defenses had their moments that they really looked good and positive. So I thought it was a big success.
All right, who impressed you the most when you were watching the game on Saturday?
Well, I think as much as anything, probably I love the quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, overall. I really believe he's gonna, he's gonna be exceptional. Really believe a lot too. Love what Eric Gray does. He's gonna have more opportunities this year. I think he can really step up and and be that guy that we need him to be. And I just thought overall the defense looked solid everywhere you looked. There were very few, major breakdowns or obvious breakdowns. So I just thought they looked really good overall.
Yeah, I was really impressed in watching the replay of it and just kind of analyzing the defense. There wasn't the blown coverages. It really looked disciplined. And for being in a new system and picking up on it in that way, it's pretty impressive.
And to go with it, I thought too, they handled the speed of the offense. Coach Levy's notorious for being able to be an up-tempo type offense, and I liked what I saw with that, as well as even the defense being able to handle it. So both sides of the ball handling the tempo and dealing with the tempo was really positive.
And I agree with you on being impressed with Dillon Gabriel. Talk about the pressure that this kid had. 75,000 people. They've watched Heisman Trophy winner after Heisman Trophy winner after Heisman runner-up, top of the draft board, to go out and play as well as he did with a little bit of Mother Nature wind. There was quite a breeze on that spring day, but he handled it great.
Yeah, there was a lot of wind, and in this time of year, you're going to deal with that. But Dillon's played a ton of football. Let's face it, he's been a starter for 3 years. He's been on the field a lot. So he's going to handle this just fine. This isn't going to be, in my opinion, I don't think it'll be a big deal to him because of the experience being on the field.
All right, offensive line, or question marks on the offensive line. Some new guys up front. How did you feel about the offensive line?
I think it's still coming together, but you have to have total confidence in Bill Bedenbaugh. He's, regarded as, and I believe he is, the best O-line coach in the country. So those guys, there's a lot of talent there. He'll keep massaging it and working with them and getting it right. And I believe in time it'll be a really good unit for us.
A lot of things to watch in the future on Oklahoma football, truly. All right, last night, NFL Draft round number 1. A big-time Oklahoma alum was a part of the draft in an indirect way when Marquise Hollywood Brown was traded from the Baltimore Ravens to the Arizona Cardinals, where Kyler Murray was happy to welcome him.
Absolutely. Kyler and Marquise have hooked up plenty, with those deep balls. Marquise is a sensational player, and I think that was expressed by his quarterback for the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson not happy about the trade. Well, we're not going to go into exactly what he said, but you can check out his Twitter feed. Some words we can't repeat in the app.
Well, Marquise is he's just so explosive. I've never recruited or had anyone with that kind of speed. I mean, he just flat out is so fast and can make those big plays or turn a short pass into a big play just because of that speed. So, I can remember being criticized for recruiting
Yeah,
him.
let's talk about it. People were upset about his size, and you're like, who cares?
So what are we going to have him blocking linebackers? I don't think so. I said when he's behind everybody, everybody's going to like him, and that's what happened. He was behind everybody all the time, and he still is. And so anyway, I'm excited to see him, back there with Kyler Murray. I'm sure Kyler's excited about it, and they'll be a great, duo right there.
Yeah, Arizona Cardinal fans get excited because watching those two Sooners play on Sunday is going to be really, really great. Well, another Sooner that was the toast of the town here in Norman a week ago, Baker Mayfield, was honored at the spring game with his statue unveiling. What are your thoughts about his future in the league?
Well, first, it was an incredible weekend to have him back, and I'm sure it was good for he and his family. So many players returned, not just for Baker, but we had a great reunion with over 200 some players back to enjoy the weekend, and I really feel positive for Baker. He's had as tough a road as you can have in his time with the Browns. Let's face it, he's had 4 offensive coordinators in what, 5 years? So that's hard to overcome. I don't care what anyone says, that matters. And, in all last year battling through injuries, most guys probably would have sat down and wouldn't have continued to play. That's not him. He's going to keep fighting and give it everything he's got. That's just his nature. And I believe the right team's going to find him. And there's a lot of good football teams out there. And Baker will fit in with somebody. And I truly believe in his talent and his work ethic, that once he lands in the right spot, he'll thrive and continue to do well.
And some similarities out there if you look at the history of Drew Brees. When he was with the San Diego Chargers, won a playoff game, a lot of optimism, some questions on the injuries. Matter of fact, the Miami Dolphins passed on him, and then he goes to the New Orleans Saints and brings them a Super Bowl championship.
That's a great analogy, and I hadn't thought of that, but that's a great analogy, and guys that are similar type sizes and the way they play, and no one does it in football alone. So it's finding the right team and the right fit, as Drew Brees did with the Saints, and it worked really well. And again, I have faith that Baker will find the right fit and the right coaches, and he has that kind of talent, to have a great career.
And one thing that was really echoed, all the teammates around him, how much they loved playing with Baker. And you also hear the same thing from the Browns locker room of what it was like to play for him. So you're getting more than just a great quarterback, you're getting a leader in the locker room.
Absolutely. Just his toughness shines through, and his true joy to play. All of that, you can't fake any of that. You can't fool anybody in the locker room. They know what you're really about, and that speaks volumes for the character and the toughness and the player that Baker is.
All right, let's transition from the locker room to the state capitol, where Bob Stoops was being recognized by state leaders. How cool was that to be at the Oklahoma Capitol and be recognized?
Yeah, it is. I'm always just feel uneasy about it, because you do none of this. You don't have success alone in football. It's the ultimate team game. I've been supported by having great players, great assistant coaches, great administration to support you, great support staff. I mean, it's all of us together, that win and lose. And so it's. I think I did make the comment that I'd much rather be in the middle of a Cotton Bowl game playing Texas and all the uneasiness of that than to be there alone, being recognized by myself. I'd much rather be in a game battling it out. But so anyway, but I do appreciate it. They're very kind to do that, and and again, hopefully all my team knows they're all part of that as well.
Now, some people were saying on social media, including some lawmakers, that they would like for you to be maybe at the state capitol a little bit longer, maybe one day as a political run. That was kind of nice.
No, believe me, that's not in my wheelhouse, and I might know my way around a football field, but the rest of that I can't navigate the entire state. So we've got great leaders around here, so we'll let them continue to do their job.
All right, great success obviously as a football coach here at the University of Oklahoma. Great success on the Fox broadcast, highest ratings they've ever had last year. Congratulations to this guy. But let's talk about the new job with the XFL.
Yeah,
back again.
I'm excited about that. I really enjoyed my time there in 2020 when it first started. And, we were only able to complete 5 games because then COVID, destroyed about, all kind of businesses, not just ours. So, but I really enjoyed working with the older players, even, just guys that have played a lot of football. They pick up the game quickly and easily. You don't have to worry about anything other than football. There's no academics and chasing guys to class or who missed study hall last night or calling a parent. Those kind of things are all, it's just, so it's fun to just work football. So I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot to be done. All they've done to this point is the ownership group is really strong and great, which I've got great confidence in. Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia, his ex-wife, the two of them, along with Redbird Capital, are just a really, really strong ownership group. And they've got a great passion to make this really work and work well and be really player friendly. So they really want to make it a great experience for the players. So I'm looking forward to working with them. Like I said, a lot has to be done. All they've done to this point is name the 8 head coaches. They haven't even decided for sure where every coach is going to be. So that's all being handled here in the next few weeks, months.
Did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson strong arm you into coaching?
I have had a chance.
I've waited for that pun for a while.
No, he's fantastic. We all had a chance to be in meetings last week in Dallas, where everyone came together and met. He and Danny, his ex-wife. So they were fantastic, and it just really expressed how excited they are about the league and what they want to do with it and their passion for it. So it was fun to meet them and see their vision for what they want to produce there with the XFL.
And The Rock loves football. We saw his introduction at the Super Bowl, of course, a former Miami Hurricane football player as well. But he is a fan of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Loves it. He loves football, was a great player himself. And I guess he really has a passion for the players to make it a great experience for them. So that's fun. And when I did meet him, he asked me how many times I had beat up on the Hurricanes. But truth be told, it was once at OU, but they got us 21-20 in Miami. So I'm just 1-1.
Some questionable calls in that game, though. I'm not trying to relive the past.
No. But anyway, So it was great to meet them both.
All right, and the last topic to talk about, we had the commissioners, if you will, all getting together this week in Dallas, talking about the potential of expansion. No vote was taken. We discussed that back in February. But again, millions upon millions of dollars being left on the table without expanding. Your thoughts on, are we really going to wait till 2025, or do you think they're going to actually get something done?
It's hard to say. You would think they would. It's hard for me to fathom the money that's being left on the table for 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to go without, especially coming off the past couple of years where everybody's lost significant amounts of money. So we'll see where it goes. But I think a lot's going to change. I can't predict, but in my opinion, with Mark Emmert retiring in a year, in the NCAA, and what now at name, image, and likeness, and the transfer portal, things that are happening, I think there's going to be major changes. And just my gut, I don't know anything for sure, but I would be surprised if there aren't major a reworking of the whole, Power 5 conferences and how we all operate.
Yeah, and with expansion alone, though, it gives more teams opportunities. Think about when Alabama was the 4 seed, they win the national championship. I mean, you start seeing the opportunities get bigger. It's just going to bring more people to the table and more exciting for college football fans when more people are involved.
Yeah, and more relevant bowl games,
yes.
Which players won't opt out of. So that also creates a whole revenue stream with the bowl games.
Yes.
So anyway, you would think that people would maybe put aside some, every conference is going to look out for themselves, but again, when you look at the amount of money that's being left on the table, it's hard to fathom why they wouldn't push for it.
And one more thing, we talked a little bit about NIL. Big news at the University of Oklahoma, of One Oklahoma, from Coach Barry Switzer and a group of people coming together to try to make sure Oklahoma doesn't just compete, but leads the way in helping players get their name out there and make more money.
Yeah, it's exciting what they've put together, and I love the fact that it's a collective so that everybody can share in it. And, you know, I love the fact that they're now also, as it gets stronger and continues to form and grow, to expand into other sports. Not just football and basketball, but into women's softball and gymnastics. I know they're already leading into that. So I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I surely appreciate everybody's effort in putting that together, Coach Switzer and all the people that he's involved with. And it sure will make a difference for our entire athletic program and for sure all of our athletes.
Exciting stuff ahead. Coach, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Again, for videos anytime, just click on the video link. For Coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen.